Before we start, this isn't just about music or fame or who sat where at the last Grammys. This is about a courtroom, a stage, a storm, and in the middle of it all stood Jay-Z, not as a billionaire, not as Beyoncé's husband, not even as a mogul, just a man who had been quiet for too long. But now, he was done being silent. And the second he walked into that courtroom, everyone knew. It was about to get real. No one saw it coming.
And honestly, are we really shocked that Jay-Z's name keeps popping up in Diddy's chaos? Jay has his own scandals to worry about, like that lawsuit from years ago. He was accused of you-know-what against a 13-year-old girl. And wait for it, Diddy was allegedly there when it happened. They were both named. That's beyond horrifying. The case eventually got dropped, but guess what? Word is Jay used all his wealth and connections to silence the victim. Applied pressure, cleaned it up like it never happened. The birds of a feather saying, it's never sounded more accurate. These men have been flying through the same dark sky for years.
The courtroom had just started settling down after a routine back and forth between lawyers. Diddy's team looked bored. The media, half asleep. And then the doors swung open. Not casually, but with purpose. And in walked Jay-Z, midnight navy suit. No sunglasses, no entourage, no Beyoncé. The gallery gasped. A journalist dropped her pen. Even the judge blinked, raising an eyebrow. Diddy turned his head, and the expression on his face said it all. This wasn't planned. This wasn't expected. This was something else entirely. He walked in like he knew the truth had finally caught up. And now, the world was about to hear it. Jay-Z took the stand with the same calm that made him who he is. He raised his right hand, swore the oath, and sat down. No theatrics, just presence. He scanned the room once and started speaking. I want to make it clear. I came here because silence ain't an option anymore. Just one sentence. And the courtroom shifted. This wasn't about saving face. This wasn't a PR move. This was Jay-Z stepping into the fire. He wasn't here to deny. He was here to explain. Jay didn't play defense. He didn't dodge. He got straight to it. Yes, he admitted, he had been to Diddy's events multiple times. But what he saw and what was really going on were two different things.
This is the most disturbing Diddy clip that I've seen so far, and it really honestly makes you realize that everyone who went to these parties isn't so innocent.
Okay, we gonna have DJ Cassidy right now get on the ones and twos. We fed y'all, we gave y'all some drinks, now it's time to enjoy life. This is a celebration of life. This is a legendary white party. It's the real white party. Make some noise if you've been here before. Okay. And to all the kids have like an hour left. So get extra comfortable, kids, because after that, y'all gotta go. It's a wrap for y'all, because this thing turns into something that when y'all get older, y'all don't want to come to. Okay? So, let's just start to get our groove on a little bit. In an hour, we put the kids away, it's all good. Hey, DJ.
He talked about NDAs, about phones being taken at the door, about back rooms with thick curtains, the kind of places you don't accidentally wander into, the kind of places that make you question everything. I never went into those rooms, he said. I never signed those papers. But I knew something wasn't right. It was quiet. Too quiet. Because what he said wasn't a denial. It was an uncomfortable truth. He saw the machine. He didn't touch it. But he saw it. Then he talked about Miami. 2015. It was supposed to be a birthday party for Diddy's son, Christian. But the moment Jay walked in, he knew something felt off. They had masks, he said, real ones. A man walked past him wearing nothing but leather and high heels. People laughed. Jay didn't. That man looked scared, he said. So Jay left early. called his own car. Didn't wait for the driver Diddy had arranged. "I didn't want my name attached to whatever that was," he said. He was starting to see the pattern, and he didn't want to be a part of it. Then came the photo. It wasn't crystal clear, but it didn't need to be. The image showed Jay-Z, Beyoncé, Diddy, and LeBron James in a room. Behind them, a man on his knees, wearing a latex mask on a velvet pillow. Jay stared at the screen, silent. "I was told it was performance art," he said quietly. "I didn't laugh. I didn't stay." He turned toward Diddy, his voice a bit sharper. "You knew people trusted you. You used that." And just like that, the mood snapped. Diddy's jaw dropped. His pen stopped moving. And for the first time in days, the courtroom felt real. This was the moment where silence cracked, and history split open. Jay-Z recalled a private conversation with Diddy from late 2018, just as whispers of investigations began swirling through the music industry. He said Diddy called him out of nowhere, with a strange urgency in his voice. "They're coming for me," Diddy had warned. "You gotta be careful who you stand next to." Jay didn't brush it off. He asked Diddy something heavy. "Did you do anything I can't come back from?" And Diddy's reply? "It's just parties, Jay. Just experiences. Nobody gets hurt unless they want to." Jay's voice cracked slightly as he repeated it under oath. "That was the last real conversation we had," he said. "I stopped answering his calls after."
Jay-Z and Gloria Estefan denying new claims they witnessed a man being abused at one of Sean Diddy Combs' freak-off parties.
You're gonna hear about my party, they're gonna probably be arresting me, people from all walks of life. Jay-Z talking to, you know what I'm saying? It just goes on and on.
That alleged freak-off reportedly happened in 2015 at both Gloria and husband Emilio Estefan's Miami mansion and Diddy's.
What followed next was a quiet separation. Jay skipped Revolt events. He pulled out of partnerships. He told Rock Nation reps to keep their brand far away from whatever Puffs got going. The message was clear. Jay-Z wasn't just distancing himself from controversy. He was walking away from a man he once called brother. And when the courtroom heard that final line, "I knew I had to protect everything I built," even the skeptics started leaning forward. This was damage control in real time. They said he was in Miami for the 2015 freak-off. Jay-Z came to court and said, "I was in Paris." With a flick of his hand, Jay pulled out the folder. Inside, flight records, hotel receipts, photographs, video timestamps, everything. On the night he was supposedly at Diddy's wild party, he and Beyoncé were celebrating their anniversary at Hotel Plaza Athénée in Paris. He even submitted guest interactions, credit card logs, and CCTV footage showing them walking through the hotel lobby, laughing hand in hand. The judge asked the clerk to verify the documents. They matched. Every detail lined up. But Jay wasn't done. He looked the jury in the eye and asked, "When did accusation become evidence? When did gossip become gospel?" He talked about Blue Ivy having to ask what a freak-off was. He wasn't defending just his name. He was defending a family, one headline at a time. This was no longer about proving innocence. It was about exposing the broken system that turns clickbait into courtroom pressure. And when he finished, the room wasn't cheering. It was quiet. Because everyone knew, he brought proof. And the other side hadn't. Jay-Z's voice dropped when he spoke about the moment his daughter, Blue Ivy, came to him holding a phone. "She asked me what a freak-off was," he said, pausing. The courtroom froze. "That's not something a father should have to explain," he added. This was the ripple effect of lies. When headlines forget that behind the celebrity is a family, a child, a wife, Jay talked about paparazzi outside Blue's school, about tabloids camping near their home, and about Beyoncé, standing beside him through everything, but never signing up for this. "She's been my rock," he said, "but this wasn't business drama. This was a bomb." He wasn't pleading for sympathy. He was making it clear. Dragging him meant dragging the people he loves. Then came the Miami accusation that he and Beyoncé were at one of Diddy's most disturbing parties. Jay-Z shut that down with receipts. "We weren't even in the country," he said. "I have flight logs, hotel footage, everything." And the best part? The prosecution confirmed it. The claim was bold, that Jay-Z was seen at a freak-off party at Gloria and Emilio Estefan's Miami mansion. Witnesses swore it. Gossip pages ran with it. And social media spun it into wildfire. But Jay didn't flinch. "I have never in my entire life attended a party at Gloria Estefan's house," he said. "Not in Miami. Not anywhere." Then came the timeline. Jay-Z pulled out logs, security records, transportation manifests, press schedules. That night, he said, he was in Los Angeles, speaking at a charity dinner hosted by the Sean Carter Foundation. He submitted photographs with the mayor, a printed speech transcript, footage from the venue's CCTV showing his arrival and departure, down to the minute. The court clerk confirmed everything, and just like that, another accusation crumbled under the weight of real receipts. But Jay didn't stop there. He turned to the jury and said something that cut through the courtroom fog. "This is what it's come to? I attend a brunch, and now I'm guilty by association?" He called out the vague phrasing in lawsuits, the power of innuendo, the silence of those who should have checked facts, but didn't. Because this wasn't a courtroom mistake. This was a media machine on autopilot. And Jay had just yanked the cord. One photo, one sentence, one rumor. That's all it took for the internet to start building an entire case around Jay-Z. He broke it down clearly. No witness ever named him. No evidence ever placed him at those so-called freak-off events. So how did his name get dragged through the mud?
That's where a new accuser claims he was sexually assaulted and humiliated by Diddy. And he says Beyoncé, Jay-Z, and Gloria all witnessed his abuse, but allegedly did nothing.
Yeah, let's skip over that.
Okay, I don't like it at all.
Gloria and Emilio denying the claims, telling ET there were no parties thrown at that property between 2012 and 2019. The couple says they have documents to back their denial and will provide them in court if necessary.
Jay-Z explained how the media turned attendance into implication, and implication into guilt. And it spread like wildfire. Dozens of articles, thousands of tweets, endless speculation. He held up a printed Reddit thread with thousands of upvotes, speculating about his secret circle, with Diddy and Beyoncé. "This is what passes for journalism now?" he asked. It wasn't just frustrating, it was dangerous. Business partners pulled out. Family members got followed. He received death threats. Not for what he did, but for what someone else imagined. And then he dropped the line that would be quoted everywhere. You don't need a lie to be loud. You just need it to be repeated. That was the point. Jay wasn't on trial because of what he did. He was on trial because of how close he once stood to someone else. Then came the heat. The prosecutor leaned forward, sharpening the tone. You've proven you weren't in Miami. You've submitted logs, tapes, witnesses, but by your own words, you've attended Diddy's parties. Jay nodded. Yes, I've attended public events, brunches, awards, music celebrations. The prosecutor pushed harder. Did you ever see anything inappropriate? Jay's answer was steady. Number I saw celebrities networking, music playing, the usual. What about Cassie Ventura? Did she seem distressed? Jay paused. She was there, but I never saw her harmed. Never saw her in pain. The prosecutor tilted his head. So, when you hear her claims now about abuse, coercion, freak-offs, you're saying you're blindsided? Jay's jaw tightened. I'm saying I didn't see it, and if I had, I wouldn't have stayed quiet. That's when the prosecutor hit him with it. That's what Russell Simmons said too. The courtroom froze. Jay's eyes flickered. His poker face cracked for just a second. His lawyer barked, "Objection!" Sustained. But the implication hung heavy. The prosecutor had planted the seed. What if Jay knew more than he admitted? Jay sat up straighter. I'm not here to protect Diddy. I'm here to protect my name. And with that, he ended the trap before it could close. Jay-Z stepped down. He adjusted his jacket, walked out the side door, and left the room buzzing. Some reporters whispered, he showed receipts. Others called it too rehearsed. Some believed him. Some didn't. But everyone agreed. He didn't dodge. He showed up. The jurors sat still, pens down, faces unreadable. One juror scribbled harder than ever. Another just stared at the empty witness chair. A former bad boy intern in the gallery wiped tears. She whispered to a reporter, maybe he didn't see what we saw. Or maybe he just looked away. Even Diddy twitched. He scribbled furiously before stopping cold. Jay's denials didn't feel like betrayal. They felt like a signal. The ship was sinking, and everyone was searching for a lifeboat. The judge called a recess. And suddenly, this wasn't about one man's truth. It was about whether an entire generation of silence was finally cracking. Outside, the media exploded. Jay-Z defends Beyoncé. Jay brings receipts. Jay versus Diddy. Brothers. No more. But inside the courtroom, it wasn't that simple. Jay-Z didn't just testify. He peeled back a curtain on a culture built on secrets, fame, and plausible deniability. He reminded the world that even billionaires bleed. And as one prosecutor said behind closed doors, we weren't just trying Diddy today. They were trying an era. And Jay? He walked out intact. But the legacy? Still very much on trial.